How are you dealing with the lockdown?
I've been doing yoga. Have you heard of Adrian, the girl in America who does online yoga? She's an online sensation.
I haven't heard.
Oh, man. I've been doing her 30-day yoga challenge. I did day 7 yesterday. And do you know what I did? I did half an hour on the cross trainer yesterday, and I almost vomited doing that. I've got a cross trainer that I normally hang clothes on.
Yeah.
I genuinely normally use it for hanging clothes on.
Yeah.
So I thought I better have a go on it.
Yeah.
So I say half an hour. I did 15 minutes on it, and I was white. I looked awful, and I went straight from that into yoga. I thought I'm going to double it up. First time in my life I've done 2 forms of exercise. I'm just in a small pair of shorts, nothing else during this whole activity.
I'm there.
I finished that in agony. I've almost been sick on the cross trainer. I'm now in muscular agony. And then I stood up and I walked out of my bedroom, and I've got a full-length mirror just as you leave the bedroom.
Oh, yeah.
And I caught sight of myself in small shorts after 2 forms of exercise. I looked at myself, and out loud I said, "You cunt."
Why don't we see workout videos like that? I've never seen Davina McCall finish a session and then attack herself. Wouldn't that be great? Just to see Mr. Motivator slap himself in the face and go, "Who are you kidding?" I love that.
That is how I felt about myself. And then I came in here and I heated up a frozen shepherd's pie. End of day.
I mean, it's beautiful. How are you coping with lockdown in general? You're right.
Yeah, I think I'm all right. You know, I think we all go through a similar thing of occasional bouts of self-pity, and isn't it hard? And then you watch 37 seconds of news and think, oh, no, I'm all right, actually. Probably keep my gob shut and accept that we're doing all right. And having a sort of 3-year-old in the house is like a blessing and a curse. She's like, it's constant stimulation needed, but that stops me sitting on my phone and checking news. So, bit of a godsend.
How do you think we would have survived if lockdown had occurred when we lived together?
Oh, I don't think we would have. No, I don't think we would have survived. I think I probably would have sort of Reggie Perrined it about day 2 or 3.
Yeah.
I probably would have just said, I'm just going for my daily exercise. And then I don't think you'd have ever seen me again.
Yeah, I think we'd find you, like they find people 20 years later and you go, geez, he's been living in the woods all that time.
Yeah, they call me the Hedgehog Man.
Yeah.
Check for John before you light your bonfires.
I love that, man.
Hey.
Where are you?
I'm in Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys know about Ohio?
We vaguely, like, I know it's quite a sleepy place.
Yeah, there's a farm. I'm on a farm.
Right.
I'm at you might know Dave Chappelle. I'm in his guest cottage.
Wow. But so how strange is that? So you're going to be hunkered down with Dave Chappelle and his family probably for like 2 months.
Yeah, I've been here since the middle of March. I was supposed to come here to do a charity show, and then everything happened and the show got canceled. But they were like, "Don't go back to New York," because that's where I live, and that's it's a lot worse than here.
But let's not fuck around. You've really landed on your feet there.
Yeah. No, we're having a great time. I mean, I don't mean to sound like yeah. I know everything's serious, whatever. We're having fun, though. Yeah.
But to put that in context, it's a bit like in the world of comedy. It's like you as David Beckham getting to live at Lionel Messi's house for 2 months.
Yeah. It feels like a compliment.
A compliment, you know?
I will say, I never knew this, but Dave is a great cook. He cooks all types of meats, and they're so good. This guy can season a fish. He's frying up snapper. He's cooking lamb. It's just like, I'm like, I didn't know. I just knew you were good at jokes.
Well, this is it. Well, finally, the mystery is solved of what Dave did when he quit Chappelle's show.
Yeah.
He learned how to cook.
He got really good at seasoning.
Well, what I've noticed, I've been checking your Instagram, like a virtual stalker. And some of the food that you've been cooking looks exquisite.
Oh, thank you very much.
Really,
Yeah,
he does.
really lent into that.
Yeah.
Really filthy meals coming out of my kitchen.
But you're going under the moniker of the food slut. Is that right?
Yeah, I started an Instagram called Food Slut because I want to document some of the dishes that will have me kind of crane lifted out of my house at the end of this. But yeah, no, I really love cooking. And also just like, it's funny when stuff gets taken away, how much you miss it. Like yesterday morning, I made my own version of the sausage egg McMuffin from McDonald's, and it was just made my day.
It looks great.
It is exceptional. Cheese inside the sausage patty. Mind blown.
But I can't imagine you in a McDonald's.
I mean, I've never been to a McDonald's. Drive through.
But I love the fact that you're very well educated. You're a very an intelligent young man, and yet clearly you have a whore-like mouth that must be fed filth. I thought you'd be eating really, I don't know, like sort of duck dishes and like really refined food. But it turns out you eat like a dirty,
slutty man.
Yeah.
But needs must. We're in exceptional times. It's very hard to find grouse during a lockdown. You have to improvise and deviate from your normal diet.
How are you coping with lockdown? Because you used to be a teacher, so presumably this is a breeze. You must be homeschooling the kids.
Yeah, I tried that for 22 minutes, 23 minutes on the first day of lockdown. It turns out I'm shit.
Really?
Yeah, really shit. It's like, bro, once you've been out of teaching for a few years, it's like a boxer who's been out in the ring for a decade. It's awful, mate. Ring rust. Like the kids are like, that's not even how you say that. That's not how you spell that. This motherfucker's 4 years old, okay? He's putting pressure on me. In the first day of lockdown, I'm like, it's going to be a long 3 months or whatever the hell it's supposed to be.
So let me get this straight. So what are you doing?
Okay, first day, I had everyone sat around the table. And I was doing this. Okay, I'm not dad. I'm Mr. Khan now. Yeah, and the kids are already like, oh God, what dickhead guy this is. I began the lesson and like it was 15, 20 minutes into just counting. We're just counting is what we was doing. And my son turned to me and goes, Dad. I said, what is it? He goes, Dad, you're bored, innit? I was like, I'm really fucking bored, son. Let's go in the garden. That's what they're doing. Sweden and places like this, they don't even sit around tables. Let's go. So we went in the garden. My wife said, this is a disgrace. You are a disgrace. I tried this. It didn't fucking work. It didn't work at all. So now she's taken over their curriculum. They're doing much better.
How are you coping with lockdown?
I don't know, man. I mean, I remember when the worst thing we had to worry about was the film version of Cats. So, I mean, do you remember that before Christmas? That was the worst thing for mankind. And now, I mean, it's strange. I'm trying hard to demarcate between my evening wear, sleepwear, and my daytime wear. So I change my jogging bottoms, when I get out of bed. But otherwise, I'm not terribly social anyway, I don't think. I quite like being at home. So this is not wildly different from my regular life.
I read a story that since lockdown started, people have been having very vivid dreams. Yeah. Are you having lots of full-on dreams?
Do you know what? I almost never remember my dreams. If I have them, don't have any memory of them. We're living in a very depressing time, obviously, where, I know I'm pleased if I hear that someone has died from natural causes. Like, that's a cheery day to me. You know what I mean? Like, Brian Dennehy died. Was it COVID? No, just old age. Oh, great, fantastic.
Okay.
But there is, to me, nothing more depressing, even in this time, than someone saying, oh, I've got to tell you about this dream I had last night. Definitely do not. I was running a half marathon and I hadn't even trained for it. And I looked down and my legs were a couple of baguettes. Couldn't give a shit. It's not an amazing story. People think it's an amazing story. Oh, this is going to be amazing. No, Great Expectations is an amazing story. Working in Lidl with Halle Berry is not an amazing story. It didn't happen. It's not a thing. There's no narrative.
Yeah. I had a dream the other day where my brother wanted to buy a house and I went along to look at the house. It was a lovely house. So I said, I think I'm going to put an offer in. And he was really upset. And then somebody stabbed him. So that was it was pretty harrowing.
Can I refer you back to my previous point that I don't give a shit?
Well, I didn't either, but I did wake up and it was so kind of strange. I thought, I'll have a look what it means. And apparently to dream of a dead brother is a sign of a very serene life. She's just absolutely bonkers. Who's ever gone, your brother died, that's good luck. I was thinking about you. How are you coping with lockdown? Because you strike me as somebody that seeks out people. And I was wondering how you were coping without your kind of fix of the peculiar and the oddball.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I'm also someone for whom work is an important release valve. But maybe like a lot of people, I don't think that makes me unusual. I think we all need that balance, don't we, of being sort of dumped on by our kids or our family at home and then escaping to a work environment where you're treated or treat other people with a little bit more respect. It's all like, would you like something? Oh, yes, I'll see you at 9, blah, blah. And everyone, somehow the level of discourse is a little bit more civilized than at home. And now it's round the clock, like turmoil, sort of Simpsons-like, mutual abuse and physical altercations. That being said, if I can neatly segue into this podcast that I've been doing, because I've found that when I've started doing these interviews remotely via the internet with people that I am interested in or who I admire, for a podcast and a Radio 4 show. And I did find that when I started doing those, like a missing piece reappeared. I was like, okay, that's what I do. That reminds me of one of those things that I enjoy that's an important part of my personality, that kind of pleasure that you get in connecting with someone that you may never have met before.
Has this changed your sort of day-to-day being in lockdown?
It's had to, because of me bipolar. I've got to be careful, man. I have to look after myself. I've had to start doing something, otherwise I am going to go nuts. I've got a fucking treadmill and everything's killing me, dude. I mean, them weights there, it's just a bloody illusion. I've been on that once and nearly broke my spine. I just felt me. I've got the body of like a traveller's dog. I fucking lifted them up, dude. I just could have just left them there. My first push-up I did, I sharted.
Yeah.
I'm not joking. I thought, I'll just try one and shat down my fucking leg.
But what I love, no, you never see this in the celeb videos. It's always the lycra. It's always those kind of nice sort of pastel colours. You never see a man in a sort of an old jacket shitting his pants. So what are you doing other than this impressive exercise regime to get yourself through?
Yeah, so I'll talk you through my routine. So I get up feeling like shit.
Yeah.
Have a cup of tea, take my medicine. Within an hour that kicks in for my mental health. Start cleaning up, wiping down light switches. I'm sick. Like I try and get as many push-ups done as I can. Try and do 100. Drink a fucking protein thing. Order me stupid salads. That'll be the only person I see in the day, that Deliveroo guy, and he gets his head chewed off. How's it going? You all right? Well, Sean. Hates me. Hates his job, hates everything. So everything's been wiped down, like switches, toilet handle, everything. I'm like, it's like a serial killer's house, this. About once a week, like a treat is doing the bloody skirting boards or something like that. Wanking, out of control, like...
Really? What do you mean out of control?
Well, I was bad before.
Yeah.
But this, like, being locked up alone, just like, I mean, it's a gamble. In the morning, a morning
It's a gamble. It's a gamble.
It's a gamble because it could knock you out or wake you up, couldn't it? It's like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do to me? And then there's also, you've got to bear in mind is, you're going to need some shit to do later on. So don't do too much wanking now because you've got another 4 hours of awakeness in your house.
How are you managing? Because I listen to the podcast. I know you're a snacker. I know you've got a thing with food. How are you?
I do.
How are you coping with that?
Well,
you were looking around. You were looking around like there was a fucking jailer.
How am I going to approach this? Well, the weird thing is, because shopping is difficult, that like if you limit what you have in the house, it's not real easy to go out and grab bad shit, like it used to be, right? So I'm trying to stay pretty healthy here and at least keep the snacks reasonable, right? Like I didn't have any sweets in the house, but dates. Like there's this date farm out in the desert here, and I order fresh dates from them. They send me these boxes, these beautiful dates, and I have walnuts. And I'm like, all right, this is sweet. It's kind of fattening, but it's good. It's nature and it's healthy. Then out of fucking nowhere, man. This company.
Who are these people over here?
I don't know. I'm afraid they're going to come bring more. But out of nowhere, this company, Van Leeuwen Ice Cream, they make like sort of homemade stuff. It's a small ice cream company, and they're fans of mine. And they're just sort of like on Instagram in my DMs. They're like, "You want some ice cream?" I'm like, "Okay." And then out of nowhere, this freezer box shows up on my porch with like 8 pints of different kinds of beautiful natural ice cream. Wow. And it's like, oh my God, this is so fucking good, but it's terrible because now the entire day is kind of like later, it's gonna be ice cream, you know? So now the struggle is really like what I'm looking at is the possibility of I can just go right now, dude, and eat some ice cream if I want. It's right over there. Yeah. And now I've got to struggle. But that gives me something to do with my brain as opposed to, be terrified that I have coronavirus or that the world is ending. And pretty soon there will be a societal collapse and there'll be roaming hordes of Nazis in the streets. I can sort of focus on, am I going to eat ice cream now or am I going to wait?
Yeah.
Like really, ice cream is a gateway drug to being comfortable with more ice cream. So like once you get into that habit, you no longer realize like I wasn't eating any ice cream and now I'm somehow made it okay to eat 2 pints a day. So what happened there and why am I not fitting into my pants?
The thing is when you start using cookies as spoons, that's when you're in trouble, isn't it? When it's all that.
Oh man. Yeah.